everybody, Cure the Darkness here, and welcome to Home, a unique horror adventure by Benjamin Rivers. It's a pixelated horror game. I don't know how it plays. I don't know anything. This is my first ever experience with it. I bought the game today. Let's just dive on in, shall we? Your game will be saved automatically at certain points. However, we recommend you put aside an hour and a half and complete Home in a single sitting. Alright. Turn up the sound, turn off the lights. That's already set up. We already got that going. I'm already trying to get myself nightmares. Let's go. All I remembered at that point was finding myself alone. Oh, my head. Where was I? It was so dark. There was something by my feet. A flashlight. Ah. Okay, you can use the D-pad for it. It's a door. Okay, yeah, let's go. Wait, that's the way you go through doors? That's already scary. That house. Where was I? I don't trust it. There was a body lying on the floor. Who was it? Jesus Christ! Oh! I got scared by a cat. I noticed that I limped as I moved down the stairs. How did I hurt my leg? I wondered. All I can really recall was coming home, seeing Rachel. I was upset. She looked afraid. I shook my head and tried to clear it. I knew I should head downstairs, try to find a way out. The shelf was full of books on local history and hunting. Seemed like the owner of the house really knew the area. Whew. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm yawning. There were scribbles of all kinds on random scraps of paper and notes about some kind of water tower. Did he mean the one by the old train yard? Oh, okay, that's it. That's the only message. Alright. There's another door. You can go even further downstairs. What is that? A thin gray mouse was stuck in a trap and looked frantic but exhausted. Did I free it? Yeah, sure, whatever. Ain't like that does. It ain't like it's gonna change nothing big, is it? Here we go. I hate that you can lift the light. What was that? What was that? Bro, what was that? What was that? That was the sound of a door closing. The door was taped up and seemed to be stuck. By the smell, I guessed it led to the kitchen. My man walking mighty fast. The front door was blocked by a pile of furniture. I knew I had to find another way out. Okay, let's do this. The bathroom was incredibly clean. Every surface had been thoroughly wiped and nothing seemed out of place. You don't think your full bathtub's out of place? There was a photo development a photo development tray lying on the floor. Some leftover negatives were sticking out, but they were pretty blurry. I thought I saw what looked like treetops. Guess I'll go back through the door. I looked like hell. My clothes were dirty and torn, and there was mud caked all over my shoes. Why is that open now? Why is this open now? Wait, I wasn't trying to go back through. Hang on, let me go back in here. There were sheets of paper all over the kitchen table. It looked like a series of names were written down, but they were too smudged to read. I could only make out a few of the notes. Stop yawning. Okay. Keycard, Ocker, last one, I promise. It didn't make much sense at the time. Is that the mouse from before? That's the mouse from before. Okay. I'm gonna go back through that door. Dang! Door was locked, but it didn't look like there was a keyhole. Maybe I could find another way to open it. This is the very bottom floor. I guess I can go back upstairs now. I done checked everything already. Oh, I didn't go all the way to this side, did I? What's this? A collection of rusty tools. These look like they've seen a lot of use and were caked in damp smelling dirt. Why weren't they in a shed? I found a picture of a couple. It looked like it had been moved a lot. There seems to be a switch behind it. Did I push the switch? Yeah, sure, let's do it. It depressed smoothly into the wall. I heard a faraway click somewhere. Okay. The switch in the wall appeared to have unlocked the door. Okay. That's what my suspicions were correct. Okay. The box looked heavy, but there were marks on the floor. It had obviously been moved before. Maybe I had found a way out. I must have moved it, right? I heaved the box forward and it finally gave. A ladder. That ladder lead to the basement though. Okay. There was a ladder going underground where the box was. A dank smell rose from the passage. Did I climb down the ladder? I guess you did, brother. My leg hurt like hell as I climbed down that ladder. The tunnel below was even darker and the smell wasn't getting any better. But I had to get out of there and find my way home. Footprints in the dirt. Looked like more than one kind and a lot of traffic. Places all over were marked on the old map of town. The industrial area near the river, various houses, and even the water tower near the old rail station. Newspaper clippings from the local paper. They were all about murders in town over the last few years. Wait. There were photos. Photos of our house. What the heck was that about? Maybe I should have looked around more, tried to find some kind of information. I don't like where this is going. I don't like where this is going at all. A work table covered in papers, dirt, and a handgun. I hated guns. I didn't take it, did I? Man, take that gun! I tucked the small handgun into my pocket. Its weight was somehow reassuring. I bet this finna turn out that I was the killer. Why did I take the gun? It was so dark down there, and the air smelled stale and putrid. I couldn't believe what I saw. What was this place? Some kind of homemade rack slummed together with poorly cut wood and rope. It was caked with old blood. Somebody didn't actually use that, did they? Man, I don't like this. Rusted hooks, looks like the kind you find on a butcher, hung from the ceiling. They look pitted and worn from heavy use. That man upstairs, did he do it? Oh, did he do this? Crudely made shelves. They looked like they were holding cans of some kind of corrosive. The labels were worn and slick, but I could still see the warnings. The slight fumes that still emanated from the cans made me dizzy. Looked like a cage? It was small, but there was something cold in the bottom. Something wet. Bro, I think that's probably blood, in all honesty. There's a door. Okay. The desk looked old and was caked with grime. On it was a stack of old faded paper covered with what looked like names. They were scratched out and illegible notes were written beside them in faded blue ink. I could only make out a few letters. He, if, a, he, af, ol, ro. None of it made any sense to me. Those are clues to something. Is there bones? They look to be bones, half dug into the ground, and the remains look old. Who put them there? Okay. I obviously have no business here. There's another ladder, yeah. Some kind of old boxes. They look like they were years old. Wait a minute. These boxes had old clothes in them. Clothes I remembered throwing out after Rachel and I moved to town. What the heck were they doing there? There wasn't anyone there. Was I hearing things? I swear to God. I swear to God, bro. Whew. Okay. When they're pixels, you can't tell that they bats. Okay. I remember noticing the broken ladder. I had to be careful. Okay. I thought you like fall down or something. Nope! Nope! I'm turning around! I'm turning around! Nope! Nope! No! No! Oh! No! Oh! Oh! I started getting somebody started whispering in my ear, dog! Bro, somebody started whispering in my ear! Woo! Okay, I gotta come in here. There was a rope hanging there. I wasn't sure how sturdy it was. Did I take it? I guess you did. Maybe the rope would make the broken ladder easier to descend. Ooh, somebody would start whispering in my... Oh. Ooh, okay. The rope I found would have let me climb down the broken ladder safely. Did I climb down? I could hear a faint hum, and the smell from before started to get worse. A bunch of old newspapers hang on now. Why'd the sound start getting louder? Okay. A bunch of old newspapers wheat pasted together. A message had been hastily smeared on it. Keep up! Danger due to cave in! Danger due to cave in? Okay, I guess I'll go through the door. I don't like that the music is getting louder. The music don't need to be getting louder. I can still feel a faint impression of the rope I had slid down. A faint impression of the rope I had slid down as I pressed against the heavy metal door. It was probably for the best that I hadn't jumped. The ache in my legs was bad enough as it was. If I could have though, I would have run straight out of those awful tunnels. Who would keep such a place? At least I thought I had found that old handgun. It seemed to work, and from the smell of it, it had been used already. I kept the gun in my pocket. It seemed a familiar weight there. I might end up having to shoot something. There was dirt on the ground. It looked wet, and there was grass smeared within it. I can go straight or I can go back up. I don't like that arrow is pointing straight, so I'm gonna go up. What is that trash? Disgusting. It was a mess of filthy garbage bags. There were rips and tears in most of the bags. What looked like an old videotape was sticking out. Did I take the tape? Yeah, sure, whatever. It's a horror game. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I wasn't sure what I hoped to discover with the tape, but I took it anyway. Okay, guess I'm going back down. Yep, going through the door. Okay. I could hear a faint trickling sound, like water. What was that? Well, I mean, it's a pipe, like, right there. It could just be water. Anyway, you know. A kitchen knife covered in drying blood? Thinking about it made me sick. I didn't even want to touch it. Did I take the knife? Man, any way to protect myself, bruh. I slipped the knife in my boot since I had the gun in my pocket. Did I really need all this? Look, you don't, like, sure, that knife was probably used to kill somebody. But, like, hear me out. That knife was probably used to kill somebody, yeah. But if it killed one person, it can kill another. I'm trying to keep myself safe. I'm protecting myself. I got a gun and a knife. I ain't taking no chances. What you think this is? There was a rusty ladder sunk into the water, which smelled disgusting. I knew I couldn't climb down that. Maybe I could find a way to drain the putrid water. Okay. So we gotta continue on right. What was that? I'm going back. I'm going back. I don't like that sound I just heard, so I'm turning around. No. No. Do I have an inventory button or something? I don't. I don't have an inventory button or anything. I am forced to go ahead with no weapon. Okay. Guess the door was locked. There was a musty smell from inside. This one ain't. Okay. I wasn't sure, but I thought it was some kind of regulator. I had no idea how it worked. Ah, this can probably drain the water, can't it? I thought I could turn this water valve to shut off its flow. Did I turn it? Yeah. Looked like I turned off the water flow in this valve. If I go back, will it have changed now? Let me see. It changed nothing! That area is still flooded! Okay. Let's see. Guess I'm continuing forward. Through this door. Another valve. I thought I could turn this water valve to shut off its flow. Did I turn it? Yes. I swear, if it's a puzzle involving these valves. Ah, it's 4 valves. Okay. First off, I'm gonna just shut them all off. And I can figure this out. I can figure this out. This is 1. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's 4 valves. Yeah, it's a puzzle to the valves. I don't think I found any clues to this, so I might have to brute force my way through, I guess. Oh wait, no, I already turned them. You can't turn them back after you've turned them, so I don't think it is a puzzle. Let me see. Oh wait. Ah, some shut them. Okay, you turn one and it shuts the other off. So what I gotta do is figure out how to shut them all off. So that one is still off. This one could be turned off. This one could be turned off. Let me check one. I gotta turn off the water flow in this valve. 1 and 4. Okay, 1 and 4 aren't changing back. So it's 3 and 2. Before I did 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess I can try 1, 3, 2, 4. Okay. I didn't get a sound cue. The valve was still active. Did I turn it again? Oh, you just have to constantly turn. Oh, okay. You have to actually turn them off. Okay. See, that's what I get for not inspecting things multiple times. Okay, yeah, 1 and 4 just needed like the one turn. Okay. I was looking too deep into something that wasn't too deep. Okay. Okay, yeah. The water flow has been taken care of in these. Door's still locked. We'll go through here. Walk on into there. The water's gone. Cool. And I gotta go down the ladder. Okay. Looks like the water drained out of that grate in the wall. There was a small metal key left floating in the shallow pool of rancid water. Did I take it? Yeah. Pocketed this small key, but it was so odd shaped I had no idea what it might open. That could open that locked door upstairs. I'm gonna go through here. The safety poster had definitely seen better days. How old was that facility? Door was locked. I could see a faint light within. A faint light means somebody else is here. I don't like that. Another body. I found I found another dead body, a sewer worker. By the wounds all over his face and body, I figured he had been stabbed repeatedly. There was a key ring sticking out of the man's pocket. Did I take it? Yeah. I thought about the knife I had found with some disgust as I carefully picked the keys from his pocket. I was almost worried he was gonna grab me. Man, there was a security camera in the room. There must have been a way to see what happened. Maybe the VHS tape I found could be useful. Okay, yeah. Man, there was a hint of fresh air here. I must have been near an exit. But I wondered, what did that key I found on the sewer worker do? And what was on the videotape I found? An exposed ventilation shaft. Maybe someone crawled through there, but it was so high up, there must have been a sewer landing. I made my way up the ladder as best I could on my leg. Would I really need that gun or that knife before the end? I wondered what was on that VHS tape I found, or in that locked room. Should I have gone back to check? My head was buzzing with questions and tired thoughts as I ascended the ladder. Suddenly, I lifted the heavy lid above me. I could smell fresh old pine trees. Was I supposed to go back? I didn't know I had to go back. I was relieved to be above ground again. I figured I should keep moving. No! Okay. So, I guess a game with multiple endings. So, I'm gonna have to play through it a second time. Thanks, sound design. An old ladder leading up to an ancient water tower. The ladder needed to be extended so I could climb it. Did I extend the ladder? Yes. I popped the latch and brought the ladder down. I don't like how high. I don't like heights. That was a scratch mark. You ain't gonna say nothing about the bloody scratch marks? And a patch of smeared dirt and grass. There was a beat up old wallet. I thought it was mine. Did I take it? I guess so. I slid the filthy wallet into my back pocket. I noticed it didn't contain any kind of gun permit. In fact, it didn't contain any cards or ID of any kind. I thought I should recover my credit card and driver's license at least. That's broken. You ain't gonna say nothing about that? From the railing, I could see over the woods and down to the entrance to the sewers. Had I come through there before? If I did, someone definitely could have seen me. Man, I will be running right now, bro. I tried the little key I had fished out of the murky puddle in the sewers. It fit, and I heaved open the rusty door. That's not what I wanted. I wanted you to say I was locked and we didn't have to go through. Okay. The wind was picking up a bit. The night air had becoming strangely chilly. That was a typo. So, am I the only one noticing the eyes in the background? Let's go in here. The old train station was quiet as a tomb. The only sound was that of the increasing wind buffeting the decrepit structure. There's a door on this side. There's a door on this side. Oh, should I go right or left? You know what? I'm gonna go left. I'm gonna go to the left. And already things don't seem to be looking too good. I don't know if that's a slumped over person or if it's a chair or what. I'm scared. The ancient ticket booth was falling apart and covered in dust and grime. Stacks of paper lined the counter, faded remains of old schedules and reports. Among the papers were newer-looking sheets, covered in scribbles and illegible notes. Come to think of it, the man in that house had kept similar scribbles hidden on his bookshelf, and he had notes on the water tower outside, too. I guess he could have been coming here. But why? What was he using this old station for? Okay, that's just a hole in the glass. It's hard to tell sometimes. Pixel games are sometimes hard to distinguish. A map. An old map encased in glass hung on the wall. It was the train routes connected to that old station. As I looked at it, it seemed familiar. Of course, the map I found in those tunnels had similar locations marked, and the notes I found on the other man's bookshelf. His notes mentioned the water tower and even this train yard. What was he doing coming back here? Okay, so it just led me right back outside. Is that a whole bus? Oh no, it's a train. The old train was ripped open and hanging from a shred of metal, as well as the broken fence was a dark stained patch of cloth. It looked synthetic, like some kind of outerwear inside the train's shell. Inside the train's shell, I could see a few faint impacts like wounds. Could they have been bullet marks? Was somebody shot there? The ground was well worn, though I couldn't really make anything out. I realized I was touching the gun I had found as I thought. I swear, one of these times we gonna turn around and have to go back through a door and there's gonna be somebody just standing there. I ain't for it. Yo, I ain't for it. I also don't like that door opening animation. Another rusty... Oh, yeah, another rusty... Oh, that's the same rusty door from before. Okay. There was a door to the left. This must have been the entrance to the forest that was mentioned on that map I had seen. Whoever was poking around in those tunnels underneath that man's house had scribbled notes on this place, but I couldn't make them out. Here, the sign pointed out various campsites. Oh, jeez, why am I yawning so much? Why am I yawning? I'm scared. I don't yawn when I'm scared. And walking paths within the woods, yeah. It mentioned a river and maybe a washroom, but the rest was too faded to see clearly. Oh, so that's just a way you can travel? You just decide, oh, some bushes, I'm gonna run through. Trampled into the dirt and grass was a plastic card of some kind. I brushed it off and was surprised to see it was my credit card. I wasn't sure if it was still usable, but it was mine. Did I take back my card? Heck yeah. I pocketed the credit card. Hopefully I could find my driver's license too. Although the fence I could see, through the fence I could see a dilapidated outbuilding. I wondered if I could find my way around it. My controller just vibrated! There was a fire pit there. It was still a bit warm, and a few embers still burned at the bottom. Two folding camping chairs were on the ground. One was knocked over. There were a couple of cans of beer spilled on the ground. The cheap dome tent slept two people. I shone my flashlight inside and could see some bedrolls, 2 backpacks, and a cooler. Hey, this is the one I just came through, ain't it? So I guess I'll go through here. Ah! My remote keeps shaking! Why does my remote keep vibrating? There was some personal effects shoved back into the rock. Wait, there was a notebook there too. Did I read it? Yeah. Inside the cheap dollar store notebook was page after worn page of names and lists. None of it made much sense. The newest page contained several names. Heather, Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, Iris, Daphne, Holly, Rose, and Rachel. Rachel? Her name was last on the list and had a mark beside it in blue ink. The names Daphne and Olivia had been crossed out in the same blue ink. Cheryl, Heather, and Rose had also been crossed out, but these marks look older and more faded. I don't like this game. Man, this game's stupid. I don't like it. I don't like it. No. Don't who? That says don't look. No, don't look. You know what? Otherwise, I would say no. But I'm a white guy in a horror movie, so I'm gonna go in. The grimy sink had a small patch in it that looked almost clean. A musty wooden plank propped up the stall door. It didn't really seem useful. Did I bother to take it? Yeah. Could have barricaded a door or something, you know. I wasn't sure why, but I took the plank. Man, you gotta think, man. I don't like those scribbles and stuff. That's scary, y'all. Let's see. The sign was the same as the first one I seen. This must have been the exit to the other side of the woods. I had finally found the exit. Once I left, I knew I never wanted to return there. Through the dense trees, I could finally start to see some light. I must have been at the edge of the forest, though I wasn't sure where the path ahead of me led. I could almost feel the cryptic notebook in my pocket as I tried to think about what it could mean. And where were the campers who had abandoned their site? Would I meet them too? Though the path ahead of me was less dense, I still felt guarded and wary. Who knew what was ahead? Am I the only one that hear like double footsteps? Man. As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto parts factory where I had worked as a machinist for all those years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago now. Times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. Oh heck nah, bruh. A faint rustling behind you? A faint rustling behind you. And another dead body, huh? I found the body of a security guard. Just doing his job, no doubt. His face was covered with blood from some kind of head wound. I wonder, was this flashlight his? I know it's just gonna be some kind of plot twist at the end to say that he's the one that like our main character is the one that killed all these people. Dug into the ground was a cracked old watch. First my wallet and now this? Did I retrieve my watch? Yeah. The watch was useless, but I put on my wrist anyway. A broken Rolex is still a Rolex, my guy, you know what I'm saying? Oh, this door opens different from the others. Nope. 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 Nah. Nope. No. Okay. I'm gonna go upstairs. Every part of this plant smelled old and rotted. I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. I'm just gonna turn on my light, you know, 'cause it's kind of dark, you know. I just turned on the light in my room. It ain't a big deal. It's just kind of dark in here, you know. I gotta see, you know. I ain't got the best vision, you know. Every part of this plant smelled old and rotted. I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. Our old break table. The layer of dust and grime only made seeing this sting more. The board contained yellow clippings of newspaper cartoons and notices. There were notes to and from the guys that worked here. One of them was to Norman, who was one of the older guys on the line. A power panel. Looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Nothing. Okay. Power panel still wasn't working. Did I try it again? I set power to something, but I didn't turn on the light for some reason. The open locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes and old boots. There was a photo of a woman taped to the inside, but it was scratched out and the face was unrecognizable. That's what they meant by locker in that note. A power panel looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? It was shut tight. There was a rusty looking card slot on the side. Guess I gotta turn around now. I don't like the door opening animation. I have a feeling something is just gonna attack me next time I open it. Okay, up the stairs. The door had been hastily boarded up. Whatever is in there has to be something good, know what I'm saying? Okay, it's unlocked. This was Norman's locker. The door was dented like someone had punched it. I don't remember him doing that when we worked here. Another panel that I hope can help me get the power back on. Did I push the switch? Alright. A utility shelf crammed with mismatched tools and items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Did I take the hammer? As I took the hammer, I noticed it wasn't as dusty as the rest of the tools on the shelf. That hammer is gonna help me take them boards off that door. That's both a good and bad thing, but probably mostly a bad thing. The locker was a complete mess. Hidden at the bottom through was a magnetic card. Did I take the card? Yeah. Slip the key card into my pocket. Another panel that I hope we get the power back on. Did I push the switch? One more should do. Power panel still wasn't working. Did I try it again? Another panel that I hope could help me get the power back on. I push the switch. No. Push again. Okay. I don't like that the sounds picked up. The sounds of the game picked up and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I struck with the hammer. The old wooden boards came apart easily. After I removed the planks, I left the hammer on the floor. Man, you should have kept that hammer to protect you from whatever is in this room. The floor was littered with old liquor bottles. Looked like somebody had holed up here. The smell of open booze bottles made me rich. I had given the stuff up a while ago, hadn't I? This was my locker. There in the factory. It stank of booze. There was a picture of Rachel on the inside. It it looked like it had been torn up. I thought I had taken that picture home when the factory closed. I'm thinking this dude he probably got like dumped by Rachel. And oh, Norman took over a general store after the factory closed. He, Rachel, and I would get lunch every now and then. Rachel liked him because he seemed more positive despite the setback. I don't think I could say the same about me. Ooh, excuse me. I think maybe Rachel broke up with him, and he was so distraught that he went on a murderous rampage and just didn't even realize what he had done. Okay. And now that's why the spirits and stuff follow him. One of the lockers hung open. Its contents were tossed around like someone had been looking for something. Oh, there's the power. Power box looked like it was running again. There ain't no light switch though? The door opened now the power was back on. Nope. Not doing it. Nope. With the power box working again, the door was unlocked. Did I go through? Yeah. Push the handle and step through the door. A rack of flashlights hung on the wall. One of them was missing. The stale scent of the old factory gave way to the brisk odor of pine trees and dirt. I was back outside, though I wasn't sure if that was for better or worse. The path beyond was dark, and my flashlight barely illuminated anything. I wondered if it had really been taken from the factory. If so, how did I get it? That poor guard. He was probably just doing his job. Maybe he knew what was going on in that boarded up room. If he did, he wouldn't be telling that tale to anybody. I hoped the path led back into town. I needed to find some help. Why are we in the forest again? Why are we in the forest again? A rusty old truck had careened off the road and into the guardrail. Its front was crushed and its windows had all smashed. Judging by the rust, it had been there a while. Nothing over here. Such inconveniently placed boulders to block my path. Well, I see the city in the distance. The garbage bin was a disgusting mess of rotten food and slick black bags. I saw a thin greenish corner poking out from one of the bags. It was my driver's license. It looked damaged. Did I take it back? Yeah. I cleaned the card off as best I could. It looked pretty beat up. I was amazed to have found my credit card, and now this? I tucked the card into my wallet next to my credit card. My controller shook again. Sounded like it was gonna start raining again. I'm getting real tired of my controller shaking. I had entered Norman's place. This was the back of the store that he ran. It was oddly quiet, except for the faint sound of a television. Why are you entering your friend's house through the back door? Check. What the heck? One of Rachel's old autumn coats hung on a rack. That was Norman's bedroom, wasn't it? What was this doing here? Inside the cabinet was a small but impressive collection of hunting rifles, shotguns, and even a few items I didn't think were legal here. One of the slots on the rack was empty. The gun I had found seemed to match the others there. If the handgun was Norman's, what the heck was he doing with it? The gun would fit there. Did I place it back in the cabinet? Heck no, man. I'm finna shoot Norman in his face. Though it weighed on me, I had a hard time parting with the weapon just then. Man, if Norman turned out to be the killer, that's blood. Y'all, that's blood on the floor. TV and oh no, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Norman's dead. Okay. Norman, my co-worker, one of the few friends I had in this town, lay dead beside his armchair. His face and shirt were covered in blood. It looked like he'd been shot trying to get up. His eyes were wide with shock, though they were already drying. Norman, what was Rachel doing here? Why did you have her coat? Norman, maybe you deserve better. You probably did. Yeah, I'ma close his eyes. Close his eyelids down, shuddering as I did so. I wasn't sure if I wanted to give him peace, or if I just couldn't stand to think anymore about what was going on. I guess this was Norman's kitchen table. He kept it clean enough, but there were water rings with 2 cups still there in the wood. The kitchen trash bin smelled fresh. I didn't dig through the mess, did I? Yeah. Found a hairpin amongst the rotting food and trash and pocketed it. A hairpin? I'm surprised the man ain't grabbing no extra stuff from my boy Norman kitchen. The TV still flickers some indecipherable channel. I hear footsteps. Why do I hear footsteps? I don't like that. That's not okay. I used the hairpin to pick the lock. The hairpin snapped in half, so I threw it away. Oh, that's what that was for. The general store was small, but it was clean. It had the usual things: postcards, snacks, magazines, and canned goods. I never went there much. Rachel usually stopped by after work if we needed anything. The register was mostly empty, and a fat stack of travel magazines sat beside it. The icebox seemed to be unplugged. It must have been off for a while. Most of its contents were half melted. There were various postcards from the area, especially from the tourist traps. One of the postcards showed an old black and white photo of the water tower. It looked to be in much better shape then. What had I seen? Norman was dead, but I had no idea why. I didn't know how he could be involved in all of this, but the thought of him lying on the floor up there was sickening. The only comfort I had was the gun I still carried, but was it really a comfort or curse? The rain was coming down hard, but at least I was close to home. It wouldn't be long before I got my answers. You think we ain't gonna figure out anything until we get home? It's probably why the game is called Home. And I know one thing for sure. It's either Rachel or the character we playing as that is the killer. I had the wrong gate. This one was locked. This is ours then. The gate was locked tight. This wasn't my house. The neighborhood's local post box. A letter was sticking out as if someone hadn't pushed it all the way in. I knew it wasn't right, but did I look at the letter? There was no return address, but the envelope was addressed to Norman. Carefully, I tore it open and looked at the letter inside. It read, "Stay away. She's mine." That was it. No signature. No other information. Okay, yeah, I'm the crazy one. I'm the crazy one, just like that. I know. I had entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my clothes. I was expectant, but also afraid. I held my breath as I approached my our back door. I was terrified to step inside. The house was painfully quiet. The only sound was my own breathing, ragged and strained. I flicked the light switch by the door. The power was off. I don't like that the music got deeper. I remembered having breakfast here on this very table. Was that yesterday or sometime before? You know, for sure it wasn't this morning. Let's see. There was a small pile of mail on the floor in front of the mail slot. How long had I been away? Why hadn't Rachel picked this up? Most of the contents were bills. There was a credit card bill there. Did I open it? Yeah. I ripped the bill open and read. To my surprise, it says something about canceling my credit card due to non-payment. What the heck? It'd be like that, bro. It'd be like that. The door to the basement, it was locked. Where I put the key? The door was stuck shut. There was an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. Okay, so we got 2 locked doors. Alright. What's this? I found the last missing piece from my wallet. The old photo of Rachel and I stared back at me, reminding me of better times. It didn't make me feel terribly comfortable. Did I keep it anyway? Ooh, should I keep it? Ooh, should I keep it? You know, I'm gonna say no to that. There was no reason to hold on to old memories. I had my license and credit card back. That was enough. Yep. So him and Rachel definitely, yeah. A television. I had purchased it before I knew I was going to lose my job. I felt pretty guilty about it after. Ooh, I'm yawning. Okay. I felt pretty guilty about it afterward, but by then it was too late. That's a broken mirror. A hallway mirror had been smashed, its pieces scattered around the floor. There's blood coming from that door right there. I'm gonna go through this door real quick though. The books there were half mine, half Rachel's. Hey, now that I look more closely, it looked like the man in that house had some of the same books I did. You haven't noticed that this house looked just like the house we woke up in? There was a suitcase on the bed. It was Rachel's. I remembered it from the trip we took out west. Did I open the suitcase? Yeah. I wasn't sure what to make of the suitcase's contents. Inside were a few days worth of clothes, some toiletries, and a train ticket? Where was she planning to go? Our sink, which needed to be replaced. One of the taps always stuck, but I hadn't got around to fixing it yet. We were lucky enough to get a house with one of these wonderful old claw-footed bathtubs. Okay, what's in this room? My laptop had been left on and only had a tiny bit of power left. On the screen was a website about the old water tower. There was a key in the top drawer of my desk. Did I take it? Yes, I pocketed the key. That's for one of the doors. Let me see, was it this way? No, that's Rachel's room. So downstairs are both of the locked doors. It's gotta work on one of them. The door was stuck shut. There was an old-fashioned keyhole underneath. Okay, so it wasn't this one. So this gotta be the key to the basement then, I suppose. Yeah. I don't like these extra sounds that's happening in the background. They can go. I don't want them. Okay. There ain't no run button. The man walks slow as heck. The front door was locked from the inside. I couldn't go out though. I needed to see if Rachel was here. I wonder if Rachel might be the one stalking us. Ah, great. A horror game basement. Things always go great here. There were old Christmas decorations in the box. The garbage bags were stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There was a dirty old key here. Did I take the key? Took the small key and tried to remember what it unlocked. That probably unlocks that door upstairs. There were old clothes, tools, and other things we obviously hadn't thrown out yet. Gets back upstairs and... wrong door. It's the one that's up here. The grimy key I had found in the basement unlocked the door. As I expected. It looked like the room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did somebody break in here? Oh, looks like signs of a struggle. There was an old crowbar on the floor. Do I need to take the crowbar? We most likely gonna need to take the crowbar. I lifted the heavy crowbar. I appreciated its weight. Okay. Now what do I need the crowbar for? Like seriously, what could I need the crowbar for? I didn't see anything that was like barricaded. Yeah, there wasn't a barricade in this room. The laptop was warm. It had been running for a while. Let me just say the ambiance and sound design and stuff for this game, sound design, looks, just the overall ambiance in general is great for this game. For this to have come out in like 2014, this is a top quality game. Where am I supposed to go? I probably have to go back outside. I'm gonna go downstairs and go back outside. No way was I gonna walk away from this now. So I'm supposed to do something in the house. This didn't make any sense. The front door was locked from inside. Couldn't go out though. I needed to see if Rachel. Yeah. Rachel was pretty angry about that, I realized. Found the last missing piece in my wallet, the old photo. I'm not gonna take the photo because I honestly don't even see what practical cause that could have. All I know is that that could possibly give us like a bad ending. Like, it's pretty obvious that this dude kind of went through some kind of grief. That photo might make him go crazy again. Because it's pretty obvious that he's the one that killed everybody. The biggest twist to me will be him not being the killer. No upstairs. There ain't no upstairs from that point. I can't go out of the house. I can't leave the house. So, what am I supposed to do? Is there something in the basement? Oh. Did I break through a wall with the crowbar? You just broke through your own wall, my guy? Okay. With a heave, I swung the crowbar at the wall. I smashed a hole large enough to step through. Here's Johnny. Okay. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught in my throat. This was it. Was Rachel down there? Was she okay? Again, there it is. Don't look. Don't look. A filthy looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful and made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile to see what lay within, but I knew I had to. I had come this far. After all this searching, after all I had seen, when I looked within the rags, did I finally find my Rachel? Do you say yes or no? I'll put no. The rags were wet, matted, covered in dirt and grime, but inside that tattered mess was no sign of my beloved wife. Rachel wasn't there. I looked around in confusion, trying to figure out what to do next. If she wasn't there, where was she? What had I been searching for this entire time? I remember the look on Rachel's face when I came home, didn't I? Then the awful realization hit me right in the gut. I had been looking at this the wrong way, hadn't I? This is what you've been trying to tell me all along, isn't it? I couldn't find Rachel there, and I won't find her anywhere else because she was never there at all, was she? I stumbled back upstairs, the pain in my legs just a dull ache now, and sat down in my bedroom. My mind was spinning, and the ache I felt before was near crippling. Finally, I could no longer fight the exhaustion, and as I started to grab hold of something that would make sense of all this, I must have drifted off. So, that decision, did I find my Rachel, is a yes or no. So you can say yes, and I'm pretty sure he'll probably find Rachel, but if you say no, it ends up like this. That's interesting. I guess these books were all actually mine then. It was my wallet with its contents intact. Either I dropped that stuff or somebody else did. Maybe I was sleepwalking again. Maybe somebody stole it from me. Norman's store, that forest, the water tower. Was I at those places before? I can do a no and just do the, it was all a dream. Or I can say yes and make him a psychopath. You know what, I'm gonna say yes. I didn't see how it could have happened any other way. I must have been the one to lose my wallet and its contents. But what does that mean? It was the key card I found at the bottom of that factory locker. I never did bother to use it. Someone had been going through those lockers and poking around the plant. Still, it didn't quite add up. Was I the one who had been going back to the factory? Yes. So it's just a choose your own horror story at this point. Okay. It looked that way, didn't it? That locker room, I had given up drinking, but the laptop had finally run out of power. This is actually a really interesting turn of events. In the dirty, faded glass, I looked like nothing more than a faint shadow. I used to tell myself that Rachel was the one who wanted to keep the tub. I think Rachel might be dead and passed away. Dead and passed away, same exact thing. I think Rachel passed away a long time ago or something. And this is him trying to kinda like, actually I have like a couple of theories on this. The first one being that he is the person that killed everybody, and like he was just in grief for either the death of Rachel or the loss of her, as in love wise. And two is that he's probably like she probably died, and this is him in denial, and he's just kind of seeing a horrible dream, because that can actually happen to people who have lost someone close. It's happened to me before. Okay. In the shards of the broken mirror, I could see my face, gaunt now, hollow and sickly and immensely troubled. What other illusions had I dreamed up? What other truths were waiting to be exposed? Let's go down here then. Safe? My old office safe sat on the floor. I used to keep tax records and other important documents in it. It used a digital passcode lock, but I didn't have the code. Maybe I had left it somewhere. 8 names written alongside those odd marks in different colors were printed in that book. Heather, Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, Iris, Daphne, Holly, Rose. I recall the names I saw scratched out on that old desk deep within those musty tunnels. Was the man in that house really up to something? Yo, wait, Rachel wasn't in the book no more. Yo, Rachel wasn't in the book anymore. Did my choice really just erase Rachel from the story? It was the letter I had taken from the post box. It had gotten a bit wet in the rain. Somebody had obviously had it out for Norman, but who? Oh no, Norman. If I was wrong with Rachel, then what about him? Did I kill him? Oh, that's woo, okay. Is this a yes or a no? Did I kill Norman? Or didn't I? I've noticed that my choices in this game impacted incredibly. Okay, you know what? Yeah, I killed him. I must have, but why? Did we fight? Or was I tricked into thinking he was sneaking around with Rachel? Dang it, what was happening to me? I said I had no idea what was on that tape I found in the garbage. If only I had found a way to watch it. I had that old TV for so long, I don't know if I could ever replace it. Ain't that a VCR up under it? Norman, you poor, poor man. It seemed like I seen all there was. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back into the basement. Nah, bruh. In the basement, they're gonna be something in the basement. How many breakfasts had I eaten here? Oh, I didn't see the first message. Come to think of it, I didn't think I had even one guest over. Didn't think he had even one guest over. The pile of mail on the floor I now saw was addressed to me. Bills, credit card offers, a letter from the bank, they were all addressed to me. That was it. With Rachel gone, I couldn't stand to be in that house a moment longer. Did I leave and say goodbye to that nightmare forever? No. I didn't deserve to go, not just yet. I think that might be a separate ending. So if I go into the basement, what's gonna be down here? Yo, the messages are gone. Everything smells musty and old down here. If I want to end it, I could do it. I could do it with that gun. Did I pick it up again? No. Just a thought made my head spin. I left the gun on the cold basement floor. If I was guilty, I could take this to a warm, safe place and do something about it. Did I pick up a knife? No. No. There were other means of dealing with this. My man done resorted to just about killing himself because Rachel didn't exist. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye to this nightmare. Cause, I ain't killing myself. Since I had arrived in town, things have been difficult. Working in the plant, though, had been good for me. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was when I had started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. Drinking was probably just a way to deal with that. It was almost as if I was trying to beat my brain in its own game. Things stopped making sense sometime after that, and my memories of what happened are still in flux. I suppose that was when Rachel came along. This night had been the worst of my entire life. Would it even be possible to bounce back from everything that had happened, everything I'd seen? You know, in a way, I almost wish I hadn't even woken up tonight. It would have spared me a lot of pain. For starters, the man I had found in that old place who had killed him, and why was I even there? What had happened in those dank sewers? I was lucky in my way to even find my way out of there. But I never did find out what was on that tape that I now kept. Considering all I had learned tonight, I wasn't sure I wanted to. And what had I been doing at Norman's place, or even in that old forest? It didn't look good, that's for sure. Had I been responsible for what happened there? What'd you think? Was I guilty, or was I just mad? That forest, though, was no escape either. That notebook especially left me troubled. I remember seeing a similar list on that desk back in the tunnels. Who were the girls mentioned there? I suspected there was more to those woods than I knew, though I had no intention of going back, so it's probably obvious to us both now that I was the one going through those lockers and making a mess of the whole factory. But what the heck was I doing there? I suppose it could have just been another episode, but I didn't understand. Was it really me drinking in that boarded room? What did I become? What more is there that you're not telling me? I had to catch my breath to take it all in. At each point until the factory, things had only gotten worse. But then, going to Norman's store, that's where the confusion and doubt started to set in. That's when my perspective on all this really started to change. But Norman, it was clearly I who had ended your life. Whether you were a miserable bastard and deserved it, or whether you were innocent, well, that'll be for someone else to decide. Maybe you knew the truth that I only now understand. Maybe that's why I came to you. But as painful as all of that was, oh no, I couldn't bear to think about it again. After all I had seen and done, finally coming home was supposed to be the end of this entire ordeal. I had no idea, though, that this was only the beginning. When I first stepped through the kitchen door, the silence had been unnerving. But to think that I went through all of that completely unaware of what I would discover, had I killed Norman thinking that that there was something going on. Everything that I held dear and true was now spinning around me. I had nothing to ground me, nothing to give me purpose or even the faintest hope or reason. Without Rachel, without what I thought was Rachel, I was lost forever. As the door swung open, I could smell damp grass and the closeness of the air. After everything, it felt like I had more questions than answers. I hear footsteps! You made me see the truth. I'll give you that. But now I was completely lost. You took away the only thing that had kept me going. I was sure word would get out, and soon enough the police will come looking for me. And what then? Would you be there to show me the way? What will I do then? Okay. So that was the first ending. I think I'm gonna end the stream there. I'm gonna come back to this game. Probably on Tuesday. But I'm gonna try and get all the endings on Tuesday. it's interesting how at that specific part, your choices change, and like, home is dedicated to my wife Nancy. Watch your back. Hold up, man. What, bro? Bro, you gotta chill. Alright, but anyway, this game was fun, and the ambiance was great. It really had me scared. I screamed. I literally screamed at both a cat and a vibration from my game control. This game, I read that it has multiple endings, so Tuesday I'm gonna redo it. I'm gonna do like a couple of playthroughs in one sitting to try and get the endings. But this was actually scary without the need of jump scares or anything like that. You felt as though you were being hunted, but there wasn't anything after you at all. And the whole goal of the game can change just like that, all with one choice. And it's a choice that you have to determine. It's not one of those like, oh, I picked up a breadcrumb in the beginning, so this person gonna die at the end. No, it was literally the choice of, do you find Rachel or don't you? And it changes the entire it changes the entire story. You can choose to say that you were the one that killed Norman, or you didn't. It's so cool to me. It's like a choose your own horror adventure. And I want to play through this again to get the other endings. So I'm going to come back to this game on Tuesday, and I'm gonna see about it. This game is good. Alright. Well, that's all I gotta say about it. This game is good. That's it. Hope y'all liked the video. I sure did like this game. Be sure to like and subscribe, and check out the rest of the vids on my channel. I do weekly streams every Tuesday and Friday. And enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your lives. 'Cause you never quite know who or what will end them. Bye, Z's!